Pony Fantasy V, Exodus of the Void by GMBlackjack. Chapter 37, Encoded. Twilight walked up to XDeath and lit her horn, equipping it with the finisher. Your time is over, XDeath. Your seals are gone. You will not regenerate. You will be removed from your seat of power, and I will take over. You cannot win. I never could win, he said. He looked up at her. Do you understand? This outcome was predetermined. Don't feel so great about going through the motions. He laughed, and he didn't stop. He kept laughing, and laughing. With a sickened expression on her face, Twilight brought the finisher down on him, cutting him down the middle, the shadowy essence of him vaporizing upon being touched. In the last second, he moved his hand to grab Sunset, who grabbed Starlight out of reflex. He squeezed hard, forcing all the energy of the void he could into them, pushing all the dark energy he had left in him in a last-ditch effort at revenge. Then his life was drained out of him before he could complete his attempt at banishment. The nightmare was no more. Sunset and Starlight held each other, shaking. He did something. But he failed, Twilight said. I felt it. Something else, they said, shivering. Dark energy began to course around them, a strange crack in reality forming in their bodies. Sunset and Starlight were terrified. Pinky walked up to them, calm. Don't worry, she told them. This is goodbye for us, but it is the start of a new life for you. You'll be fine. Really? Starlight said. Pinky touched the necklace on Starlight's neck. Really, as fine as pie in the sky. Starlight giggled. If you say so. Sunset sighed, her body starting to fall apart. Well, here we go. Into the unknown once again. We really do keep ending up nearly dead, don't we? It's probably going to be our thing, Sunset said. It was nice to know all of you. Starlight smiled, tears falling down her cheeks. I want you all to know I am so sorry for what I did, and that I consider you all the best of friends. Twilight held Starlight's hoof. Everything is forgiven, Starlight. They were rapidly deteriorating when Sunset's eyes lit up. Hey, Applejack, can I have your... And then they vanished in a puff of void energy. Twilight blinked. What now? I fade, Pinky said. I'm living on borrowed time here anyway. Technically, I'm very dead. Fluttershy whimpered. But you just got back. I was already gone, Fluttershy, Pinky giggled. We just got some bonus time here right at the very end, which I'm very thankful for. But I do have to go. I can't stay. And neither can you. Pinky looked at Twilight. You need to go back to the interdimensional rift and take control of the void from there. Pinky bit her lip. You will be overwhelmed by what you see. Twilight tensed. Will I be okay? I think so, Pinky said. You know the value of others. XDeath didn't. No matter what you find there, know that those you care about most are important, and they do matter. Do not become like him. Be more like me. Twilight blinked. Wow. I can't believe be like Pinky is actually good advice. You'll get used to it. Pinky clapped her hooves and summoned a crack in reality back into the interdimensional rift. Never try to come back here. The source is nothing more than a lie designed to trap people like XDeath and Starswirl. The void will give you all the power you need to explore reality. Don't overextend yourself. We will never come back here, Twilight promised, beginning to step through the crack. Fluttershy hugged her mother one last time. Goodbye, she said. Goodbye, Pinky echoed. The crack sealed shut, and seconds later, Pinky was gone. The source remained. Twilight took a hold of the podium with her magic. Everyone, literally everyone from the City of Man, was staring at her. She took a breath and put her hooves on the podium, connecting directly to the void. Star Swirl's magic let her in instantly, and the sheer rush of information overwhelmed her for a few minutes. But she pressed on. She only wanted one thing: to find the command that reversed the void energies on her home. Everyone's home. She took a deep breath and concentrated. It took her about half an hour to find the command, and she was starting to go a little nuts because of it. But she found it, and activated it immediately. At once, all the void spheres vanished with a pop. The things they had consumed did not reappear. They had been vaporized. Perhaps what was swallowed was in the interdimensional rift. Perhaps not. But the citizens of the world could now rest easy. The world was not about to be consumed. They would live. Twilight let out a breath of air. Then she laughed. We're done!" she yelled. The entire city of man cheered. Twilight then promptly passed out from exhaustion. Dear Auntie Marble, how are your meditations coming? I hear you've been doing them since we defeated XDeath. My, I have so much to catch you up on. I bet you're wondering how everyone's doing, huh? Well, I'm not doing much. I've been living in the city of man with the Eidolons. They make great company. I'm now officially an advisor or something to Twilight. Or perhaps I should say Queen Twilight, soon to be official ruler of the entire world. Some people are saying she needs a title beyond Queen. Lyra thinks Empress would work, though Twilight thinks it's silly. Seems to be catching on among the people, though. It's strange how Twilight never wanted to be a leader of any kind, but has ended up being put in charge of everything. I would have broken down long ago, but she's handling her responsibilities as de facto ruler and caretaker of the void seriously. She's changed a lot over the years, seems overwhelmed at times by what she knows, but she's still wonderful to be around and talk to, even if she does talk in all sorts of technobabble I don't understand. Rarity and Rainbow Dash are living together where the Pirate Cove used to be. They have somehow managed to turn it into a 5-star restaurant where all the pirates of Rainbow Dash's crew now serve food for everyone. They don't do much pirating anymore, though Rainbow Dash will regularly go out on an adventurous voyage, and Rarity will sometimes tag along if the restaurant isn't busy. They have a strange sisterhood, but it works. I go there regularly since Spike loves it there, and I have to say, I had no idea Rainbow Dash had such good taste in food. Applejack actually gave up adventuring for the most part to start a farm. She and her chocobos, when Nona had kids, spend the days growing apples. Applejack told me she had been all adventured out after we defeated XDeath, which I suppose makes sense, considering I was adventured out and I wasn't there for half of it. She seems really happy there, even if she is alone for now. Though she does complain that with the decaying earth, it's hard work. Limestone has become a sort of guru, training all she thinks are worthy in the art of the sword. Lyra and Bonbon have recently taken up classes with her. Apparently, Bonbon is her best student. Lyra is her worst. Limestone's really hard on both of them, but when I talked to her, she said they were doing all right. Minuet, Twilight's #1 assistant, trains there sometimes as well, though she's usually really busy helping Twilight politically. Let's see, who else? Oh, remember Trixie? Well, she and Discord met up, and they've started a magic sideshow. They regularly have shows on the city, and it's absolutely spectacular to see the two work together to wow the crowds in amazing ways, though they do comically bicker a lot. All in all, it hasn't been easy recovering from XDeath's rampage, but we're doing it. The future looks bright. Hope to see you soon. Limestone sends her regards. Discord does as well. Your niece, Twilight looked into the void once more. She often pondered what Pinky and XDeath had been talking about when they were in the Source. Stories and heroes and villains, like everything was predetermined. She never did figure it out. She was pretty sure she didn't want to. The sheer, overwhelming number of worlds the void led to was enough for her mind. She wasn't entirely sure there was an infinite amount, but there were definitely billions and billions of them. When she looked through the void's connections, she found versions of herself instantly. She barely had to look. Some were good, some were bad. It was really harrowing to see those who had almost the exact same life as her turn out horribly different. It was torture to the mind. It was weird, though, how she never found another Twilight in control of the void. It was one of the reasons she thought the universes weren't truly infinite, or that the void just couldn't access an infinite number of things. She sighed. She had pondered all this before. Why was she doing so again? Oh, yes, right. Distraction. Despite her best efforts, without the crystals, their world was decaying, and none of the crystals she had contacted through the void knew how to fix it. Troubled? Tochi asked. Yeah, Twilight said. Our world will die. No matter what I enchant it with, or what otherworldly powers I access, it still says it will decay eventually. She sighed. What are you going to do, Empress? Oh ha ha, she muttered. Funny. I only call you that because it annoys you, Twilight, Tochi said. I know. She looked into the void, the images of the other worlds passing by her face. The trees, the blue skies, the stars. What are you going to do? Twilight stood up tall, spreading her wings. Her mane flapped in the non-existent wind, stars spiraling off in magical patterns. We're going to move to another world. We're going to find ourselves a new home. That will be quite the undertaking. Twilight grinned. Oh, I never said it would be easy. But since when has that stopped us? She turned to the many images of the other worlds she saw through the void. I just have to find one. Then she paused. Does it even have to be just one? She wondered aloud. When I first read How Are Your Meditations Coming at the beginning of Fluttershy's letter, I thought that was How Are Your Medications Coming? I was a little worried about Marble's health. Interesting use of number one assistant. I suspect that's on purpose, although I hadn't caught it the first time I read through this chapter. Very interesting. Anyway, let's continue on to part 2, credits. Pony Fantasy V, Exodus of the Void. Credits. Pony Fantasy V, Exodus of the Void. The End. Written by ORBSyndicate. Starring Applejack as Bartz, Rarity as Lena, Rainbow Dash and Sweetie Belle as Ferris and Sarissa, Pinky as Galef, Fluttershy as Krill, Twilight Sparkle as Sid, Lyra Heartstrings as Mid, Luna as King Tycoon, Sunset and Starlight as Gilgamesh, Spike as Sildra, Winona as Boko, Bonbon as herself, Chrysalis as King Waltz, Minuet as herself, Amethyst as herself, Discord as Guido, Maud as Zazat, Gilda as Kelgar, Daring Do as Dorgon, Limestone and Marble as themselves, Ember as herself, Torch as Bahamut, the Crystals as themselves, the Edolan heroes as themselves, Star Swirl as Inuo, the Nightmare Forces and Tantabus as XDeath, and dozens of guest appearances, cameos, and less important roles that are too numerous to list here. And, spoilers, as himself. Music. Reality Check Through the Skull by D.M. Dokuro. Clash on the Big Bridge from Final Fantasy XIII-2 OST. The Decisive Battle by Nobu Oematsu. The Final Battle Remix by Master Zaituki. Zant Battle from The Legend of Zelda, Twilight Princess. Final Fantasy V belongs to Square Enix. My Little Pony, Friendship is Magic belongs to Hasbro. Any other franchises referenced belong to their respective owners. Special thanks to 372-12513, Sigmacypher, RI2, Professor Janus, Dreamthinker, Kiwi Cookies 55, and all the readers of this large undertaking. Seriously, thank you. And now, the stinger. Sunset and Starlight appeared in midair with a flash of black void energy. "Sword," Sunset said. "Darn it!" The two mares crashed into the ground with a loud thunk. When the dust cleared, they heard a deep male voice laughing uncontrollably. "Wow! You girls are new at this, aren't ya?" "New at what? Who are you?" Starlight asked, looking up at the unusual man standing before them. He was adorned in red and orange, had an unusual gray skin coloration, and had all sorts of weapons all over him, including a halberd. "New at world traveling. Name's Gilgamesh. I've been doing this for a while." Starlight's eyes widened. "Will you teach us?" "Nope," Gilgamesh said, touching the two of them with his fingers. Their dimensional nature activated, and they were sent to another world. Gilgamesh laughed. "Ah, that was rich," he chuckled. "Don't worry, folks, they'll be fine. Probably will be a little sharky, though." Then he walked off, continuing his search for legendary weapons. And the multiverse continued onwards. The end. GM, Master of Wanderlost. Author's note. And we're done! The story is complete! Over! I spent roughly half a year on this, the largest project I've ever completed. I am not done writing, though. Expect new stuff within the week. I've been writing a lot of stuff down physically in a notebook, and my next large project is completely first drafted. Expect more regular updates for my next stories. Thank you all for reading. Now, please, the story is complete. Tell me what you thought. Share it with people if you liked it. Thank you all. GM, Master of Too Many Thank Yous. P.S. I will be posting something Pony Fantasy V related to my account in a few days as a one-shot, so look out for that. Comments. 37212513. Wow, a spot in the credits. Suddenly I feel like I didn't really pay any attention to this. Great story, really. Understatement, really. Even with the FF5 model, this was well thought out, and the effort shows. I will be going back through this, chapter by chapter. I feel like I owe you that much. It won't be as soon as I would like. Real life gets in the way, but I will get to it. I'd like to feel like I earned that mention up there. GMBlackjack. You still offered me more than a few suggestions, and for that, I thank you. GM, Master of Porcupines. I had not thought of Torch as Bahamut. They fill completely different roles. Their only similarity, even in the story, is big scary dragon dude who ends up helping the protagonists. Bahamut was an Edolan. Obviously, we don't see any more of Sunset and Starlight in this story, because it is over. But I don't remember if we see them in a later tale or not. I wouldn't be surprised either way. It's been a while. It's a long series, easy to forget little details. Also, I don't know if saying they'll be a little sharky is on purpose. That's an expression I'm unfamiliar with. And or Gilgamesh is just a weird dude. He is. I've seen the source material. He's weird. Or if that's supposed to be shaky or something. It could just be there's not supposed to be that R there. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, there's gonna be one more piece. What's it called? The abridged style chapter, which I think is kind of funny, and you should probably do it. Yeah, I'll have one out. I'll have it out within the month. Thanks for listening, all. Have a good time. Bye.